tell you that we are joined by two other individuals who also participated in the sit-in movement as we celebrate the 50th anniversary of the sit-in movement. Earlier, Ms. McClain from Tennessee State University gave us some information relative to the movement itself. And now we have been joined by Ms. FHenry and Ms. Smith. And of course, let me welcome both you, Ms. Henry, as well as you, Ms. Smith, to the show this morning. And we do understand that being females participating in the sit-in movement must have been a real traumatic kind of thing for the both of you. And so let's start off, Ms. Henry, by having you to give us some information about your participation and how you became involved with that. And then, because we've got another segment after that to sort of get into some discussion in reference to this. And then Ms. Smith will give us some information in reference to her involvement, and then we'll start talking about the movement itself.
Well, I had on-the-job training because I had not participated in the workshops. I met Diane Nash, one of the leaders of the sit-in movements, as I was getting off the bus downtown, the Jefferson Street bus, trying to transfer to go on the other side of town. So she recruited me from the bus and asked me would I go to Kane Sloan with her. And at that time, I thought Diane was a white lady. And I said, why? And she explained to me about the movement and what the movement was about and what they were trying to accomplish, sitting in at the counters, desegregating the counters. And I was just saying to myself, now, if this white girl can put her life on the line for blacks, surely I will go with her. And I went to Kane Sloan's with her, and the two of us closed the whole counters. And when we did that, she said, Frankie, now I'm going to take you to McLevin's. And she did, and set me beside Paul Lepar. He was a student at Fisk University, a white student. And she said, Frankie has on-the-job training. She didn't participate in our workshops. So I want you to talk to her because we're having hecklers in about 10 minutes. These white hecklers, they're going to come through. So I want you to really talk to her. And I'm going to check on Cresses and Woodworth. So she left out.
And there you were.
And there I was. There I was.
Okay. And Ms. Smith, what about yourself? Your involvement and some of the experiences that eventually brought you.
Okay. I was not directly involved with the sit-ins. I did attend some of the workshops, and I had learned about the nonviolent techniques and stuff like that, but I did not feel that I was strong enough in my head to let people spit on me, hit me, or do anything they wanted to without fighting back. I understood what we were trying to do, but I felt like if I went and to see if I would make it, that I might mess something up. So I just did not participate. But I did go when they started the stand-ins. I was ready. And I stood in at theaters, and one night I did sit in just for a minute until they closed Wilson Quick down. That was because there were so many students at the theater that they asked some of us to go across the street and sit in over there. And then I was arrested at the Tennessee Theater. Now, we did experience some pushing and jostling. The police pushed us around when we'd asked to stand back. There would sometimes be some of us waiting to go up to the window to get a ticket. Of course, they weren't going to give it to us, but we would go to the window, ask for a ticket, and then go back to the back. And one night, more than one night, the police would push us back off the curb, and one night we did get pushed to the ground, but I was never really spit on. I did miss a can of paint on the night I went to Wilson Quick. As I stepped out of line, a can of paint came down from the window at the top.
And it hit,
it hit the guy that took my place. I was spared that night. because I'd have been yellow.
Okay, very good. You know, but I think that these experiences sort of equate some of the experiences that I'm familiar with too, in terms of the harassment and the. But didn't it strike fear, Miss Henry, in your heart?
It did not until Paul was talking to me and I was turning to the right to listen to his instruction. And I had my arm on the counter, and as I was talking to him, a white lady was putting a cigarette out on my arm. And it's just a minor scar that I know I will wear for the rest of my life. But that was traumatic to me. And having on-the-job training, my first reaction was to treat violence with violence. So I was saying in my mind, now I'm getting ready to fight her or whatever. But as I was looking past her, Reverend Dr. Kelly Miller-Smith was standing there, and he was shaking his head. Don't hit her. And I was thinking about all the sacrifice and all the training that the students had gone through, and that kind of changed my mind. But another thing, it kind of made me think. I had never thought about civil rights, being a 19-year-old sophomore, trying to be a pepper at this.
Where were you from?
Nashville. Yeah, and we were protected in our neighborhood. Beautiful, smart, intelligent, and caring black teachers, ministers, and parents, and we had a close-knit community. I never did have an opportunity to come in contact with the white community in that capacity. So it was really then that I started thinking about the empowerment that it gave me, not hitting back. And as I looked at her, and I'm sure she was looking for me to retaliate, but I didn't do anything. I just stared, and she finally went away.
And so, and of course, we're getting ready for our second commercial break, and we'll have the two of you back with us following this break. But you finally came to a realization that of what the whole movement was all about at this particular time.
Yes.
And of course, we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. To Ms. Frankie